Google Chrome crashed, and now my Onward's crashing. Everything's dropping like flies here. Here, let me let them know. Oh man, everything decided to have a bad day today on my end here, and I apologize about that. Take Alrighty, things are slowly beginning to come back together on my end here. Oh, now even my Windows Explorer is beginning to try to crash here. But luckily my OBS is still running, so that will not be interrupted, which is a good thing. A very good thing. I'm actually going to take us over to the actually, I have a better idea. Let's pull up some numbers, because I love numbers. I'm a big fan of numbers. Especially while I wait for Onward to boot. Now we did see a ban come out of Hand of Death for Subway, I believe. Yes, they banned Subway, and surprisingly, it's actually one of their better maps, if not their best. They have a 68% round win of all time on Subway. Now, keep in mind, most of the statistic. I'm sorry, no, I'm getting my teams mixed up. That's actually really good, because on the Lords of War side, actually, they have a 63%. But keep in mind, those were the days that a certain player who loved Subway was on that team, who is no longer on that team. So that could be a completely different statistic than what we would see nowadays. So just keep that in mind. Might not be the greatest ban of all time, but hey, if we're just going off of raw statistics, it's a pretty good offensive ban. I'll put it that way. Let's see. Downfall. I am waiting for my Onward to boot up, which seems to be taking a long time to do so, but it is going now because I can see that easy anti-cheat, which always pops up. Still waiting on my Onward to reboot here. I'll get you more information as we go. In the meantime, I'm I'm just gonna put you over to an intermission screen, and I'll see you when I have more to report on. Alrighty, so we are going to be popping in really quickly on around here, but I can tell you that the first map pick is indeed Quarantine. Let's pop right on into this gameplay here, if we don't mind. For the first round, which appears to be, and if I'm not mistaken, the Lords of War have actually won. Please ignore that, as I have not been able to set the team names, and they started without me. RIP! Yeah, let me send you over here. Lords of War, take that first map. I got a lot of things broken today. This is not going well from a casting perspective. It's going well for the Lords of War, though. Taking that first round. I didn't even see how, because it's booting up. Okay. Now we're getting a lot more acclimated here. Actually, let me reset that. So this one, I'm gonna just pop over here, pick his Quarantine, and then this should solve all our problems, because they have not chosen Subway. Matter of fact, that was banned. Alrighty, and so the one thing I can show you from this round is, of course, the round here. And it looks like Hardo Tyler has completely carried the team here. And now we're about to pop into round 2. Alright, time for some professional grade casting here. Some critical words coming for themselves, coming out of Hand of Death. Always trying to improve in the next one. We have the lasers automatically on, which is awesome. Already trying to peek down that street there, seeing if they can get any pick, any kind of advantage in the beginning of the round is so important. It makes the task so monumentally easier. We have two people going on the south here. They're going to have to encounter this odd man out. It's a 2v1 down here, but it will happen as Gunrama and Hardo are on the wing, and they will try to encounter, or they don't actually, they're not even looking in the direction of Skeptical. Skeptical might have a double on his hand if he plays his card right. Bleh. Oh, he has his sights on Hardo. Tyler, some weird lag going on, but really weird lag actually. That Gunrama finds the pick on Skeptical, but is not able to confirm it, thus allowing Skeptical to radio very critical information about the whereabouts of the Lords of War. Voltage opts to make a northern push along with two other of his teammates, has to cross the street, takes fire. Smoke. And there are people trained on his location. Oh man, that lag. I would restart my Onward just to take care of that lag, but ooh, I don't feel like I want to risk that.
Like I said, I repeat, there is one in deep southeast behind the hills.
That's weird. I'm even seeing the audio lag come out from Gun as he reaches for his microphone. He's letting it go, but I'm still hearing him talk like he's grabbing it.
Second story window motel, second story.
And he's very correct in that as this peak comes out, he might be able to find this, but I think he's still pointing at the ice cream truck. At least his barrel is pop out here. Oh yeah, it's gonna shoot right through that. Opts to actually go for a smoke rather than go for the push, but I think he's actually using it as a diversion instead. Takes his shots, doesn't find anybody yet. K-Dog ducks back in for cover, and Gunrama is able to tag out Skeptical. Actually, they trade. My apology. Thus giving the hand of death the one-man advantage. Aquafighter and Esco go for the far northeast approach here. Actually, interesting stuff's about to spew in the middle here. As Voltage and Remmer G might be squaring off soon. Voltage opts to go around to the outside here, and it's a side that Remmer doesn't really have a visual on. He's relying on usually what would be Mr. Jacob's position in order to cover him, but they are both watching the same area here. He can tag Remmer, but then Mr. Jacob has the option of rotating around, and in doing so may get caught out by the two northerly Lords of War, but Voltage doesn't even see Remmer G. He's right on Mr. Jacob. If Remmer just turns around, and I feel like some deja vu is going on here, but Voltage just completely walks around, doesn't even see Jacob. Once again, I'm sorry about this audio lag. This is bugging me out. Remmer didn't even turn a glance, and allowed Mr. Jacob to just take that on, and now we're down to the last man or woman on the Lords of War. The Lord of War, per se. If I could find this Lord of War. Oh, it's going the rotation. And it is the last Lordess of War. Yeah, that came out of my mouth. Ooh, Aqua sees, I think she would have seen K-Dog, unless that, let's just go to her view. Whoop, that is not her view. Let's get a view while I mess with the controls. Oh, and K-Dog finds Aqua, giving the Hand of Death their first point back. And a nice retaliatory point. Ooh, I do not like that sound. Let's go back. Whoop. Actually, no. Let's go there. Despite all the lagging that is going on right now. Actually, I'm going to try something to see if this fixes it. I'm going to do a standard audio Onward trick, which is to go to the menu and rejoin the lobby. Oh, it seems to be Onward itself. Oh yeah, everything's... You can probably hear it too. But I'm going to type really loudly just so you can hear the difference. Oh, you didn't... It doesn't click for the passcode, but... That did not solve anything. I am pretty sure of it. It is the game itself. Running a little behind schedule. My weird thing is I think my maybe things aren't as messed up as I think they are, but no matter. I'm actually gonna set up my things really quick here. And you know what? Alright, now I'm ready to bring you all back in. Sorry, I had to do team names. We have a very northern objective here. It's round 3. And people are rushing objective. It's the worst time to be having tech issues. A trade comes out between K-Dog and Heart of Tyler off of a simultaneous peak, but K-Dog and Remmergy are able to confirm that. Lords of War have already lost 3 people. Just making sure I was looking at my things right. And it's now down to a 2v2. And objective is almost completely undefended as nades come out in order to be able to defend these corners where people can cap from. A nice rotation actually comes out of Gunrama in order to prevent K-Dog from capping behind the wall. So he will have to take that out, and if I'm not mistaken, he's the last man alive. So a cap will probably not be happening right now. Unless you put a bunch of stuff out there. Skeptical gets the confirmation knife on Volsage, so no more callouts. Not that it really matters anymore. K-Dog is pretty much on objective, figuring out what he wants to do. I don't think creeping will work for you. Gunrama got into the place to be. Oh, and a trade comes out, but because they had that other man standing, Hand of Death take the lead. Oops, I'm sorry. I did not set up the thing right. There we go. Hand of Death are looking pretty strong on this map here. Now that they've taken both a Marsoc and a Volk round, they're not relying on the bias of the map per se anymore, which is very interesting because the Lords of War have lately been an extremely strong team. So really cool to see another team kind of rising out of it as well. Quick overview on the scores. We see K-Dog and Skeptical are really putting in the work here. Pardo as well. And it's really showing through the team. Hand of Death have just been consistently taking the lead off the start. At least from the starts I could see. Granted, I've not been able to see half of them, but they have been taking the lead from whenever I join halfway through a round. And it seems to work really well for them once they take these early leads. Lords of War have to learn how to avoid these picks, getting picked off really early in the start if they want to start taking back maps. I think that's their biggest area of improvement is right now. And we will have quick spawn again. It's time for the Lords of War to make their move on them. Will they cap and take the lead, or will they tie it up, or will they give Hand of Death the 3-1? Find out in round 4. Free firing out, coming out of Esco, a master of the machine gun. And Gunrama leading the charge here. Might encounter some hostilities here on top of the roof. And Hardo is able to find K-Dog, giving Lords of War their early advantage that they so desperately need if they want to be able to do something with this objective. Actually clears up the roof. This audio thing is messing with me. I'll have to check. I'll have to check. Make sure I fix that by the next map. But I'll let them play this map out, just not to disturb them. The rest of the Lords are actually pretty far back. They're playing really conservatively. I think they took the words that I metaphorically said to them to heed. Are playing a lot slower than how they have been before. Keep in mind, the last round we saw a pretty decent push coming out of them. From both sides, actually. Hand of Death were able to extend, though, I think.
4 minutes. Let's roll. All right.
Skeptical finds Gunrama. And I believe, yes, he was the man at the corner we were looking at before, so that's actually a really crucial push right there. But he does get caught out by the rest of the team, who are only now making their push, so it's still... This is still in the Lord's favor. It's a 3v4, so... We can see some really good stuff coming out of them, because they still have that man advantage, but... They've used up half their time, and they are nowhere near objective. Matter of fact, they're going around the long way to the objective. And they're taking their sweet time while they're at it, nonetheless. Closest person to the objective is actually High Voltage, and he is about to have to cross a street down there. There we go. The Hand of Death have actually chosen to hunker down extremely well. They are playing as far back as you possibly can. We're beginning to see the strategy come out for Lords of War, but I feel like it's a little staggered. The unison just isn't there. We got two people pretty much ready to attack objective, and the other two are still getting into position. And when you have the 4-man advantage, you want to capitalize on that. You want to use 2 men on 1 person to basically have to force them to take 2 shots at once if they want to win that battle, which is extremely hard. But if you have a 4-man advantage and you send 2 people in against a group of 3, that math just doesn't work. The unison is coming out from Voltage and Hardo. And High might be getting into combat here very shortly, but
Go. 1 minute.
and the pick comes out. Voltage finds Remmer G, but then gets tagged out by Mr. Jacob. Smokes coming out from Aquafighter and Hardo Tyler. Only 30 seconds remaining on the clock. They have used up all their time that they possibly could. I'm Patrick comes out, manages to dodge any shot coming out from whoever's on the roof. And Hardo Tyler is on objective. He is tablet out. Patrick needs to peek around right now. He peeks around. He tags 1. He tags 2. What a defense coming out of it. We are now down to a 1v1. Esco. Patrick hiding in the smoke. Esco is going around, but the Lords of War are able to find the final pick and secure themselves to tie up the match. Whoa, that was awesome. That was some good stuff. They brought it down to the final minute, which typically isn't good because then it puts the pressure on your team to do something and can potentially make mistakes. But it seemed to work for them in the end. Esco kind of came in and cleaned up at the right time. Excellent peek coming out of Remmer, I believe. I'm really bad with names, so you have to forgive me. Oh no, I think it was K-Dog, or I'm Patrick. I think it was Patrick. You know, I don't even know. I'm not gonna worry about it. Not in the slightest. Once again, we're seeing the same culprits here, really carrying each team. Hardo, K-Dog, and Skeptical put in the work here. High Voltage has also put in decent work too. But we are still in a 2v2 situation here, despite both teams having great players who seem to really know this map really well. As we pop into round 5. And they're talking about cars.
Free Unity vehicle.
Let's go see what Marsok's up to. Whoop. Tried to go between the pillars, but apparently I'm not Spider-Man. And I'm about to get Onward Master League sued by Sony. Now there is no spread and there is no push through the north, which means that they're going to go for a full frontal assault from this side here. And no one's really made the move across the street just yet. Lords of War have actually spread out more than the attackers have. Take a quick gander at the map. And remember, G thinks he sees someone.
Ambulance inside the fence, inside the white fence there.
But Esco is able to down Mr. Jacob and K-Dog. A nice double. Bringing it down to a 3v5. That burning building, burning two-story skeleton, whatever you want to call it, is really effective on this objective because you have view of both the streets, thus shutting down approaches at 2 points if you have crater spawn, which is the case here. So it's working out really well for him. Gotta get out of here. Need a no-clip mode. Let's go through here. Yeah, what on earth? Ay. That's weird. Skeptical here's Esco, I believe. Somehow misses him. I'm Patrick was able to down high voltage, a crucial pick. And Skeptical is able to catch Esco as well, thus securing the streets. Aquafighter on objective. It looks like that people know that she is there. And Skeptical takes out Hardo Tyler as well, bringing it down to a 3v2. Hand of Death have the advantage here. Will Remmer use utility on Aqua? He's made noise and Aqua's probably heard it. She goes around for the rotation, but Remmer G gets a little cheeky with it. Goes through the hole, down to Aqua. Gunrama gets the refrag on Remmer G. And Skeptical begins to make his move onto objective. He downs Gunrama. Objective is open. I'm Patrick. Tablet out, but it doesn't matter. Hand of Death have won just off of default for taking out the team. And a point for you! And a Death are on match point for map 1. Lords of War are kind of with their backs to the wall here. They have to get a cap here or a win of some sort if they want to stay in this first map. I think we're seeing more of the Lords of War begin to pick up for their team because I'm seeing a much more spread out score, whereas Hand of Death we got like Skeptical and K-Dog really putting in the work. We are seeing a good spread from like Jacob and Patrick too, kill wise at least, but as we all know, Onward is a lot more than just the kills, but hey, they're nice to look at. I try to do that. Hopefully after this map, I'll be able to drop in before they start the game and allow me to restart my Onward. But we'll have to wait and see as we drop into round 6. And what are they talking about here? Last time Lords of War were talking about cars, and I heard about fire safety, so
I'm gonna head west. I'm gonna watch west. If nobody's coming west,
and we will have a quick spawn this time. High voltage downing Remmer G, getting the initial victory, but Skeptical gets the refrag on high. And 3 of the Lords choose to go around that back alley push toward gas station, while Gunrama keeps Skeptical occupied. Down and out. Hand of Death are down. Down one man, 3-4. This is their match to take. All they have to do is defend it. And Mr. Jacobs getting aggressive with it. Completely ditching the objective, but oh, there is a rotation, so he's not completely abandoning it, but Esco is right next door. He better be careful if he wants to win this map. The formation is beginning to come out of Lord here. Of the Lords. I can't even think of a name to shorten it. It's just Lords of War. Oh, and everyone lined up on Jacob. He got a little too aggressive there. Now, brings it down to a 2v4. The clutchness has to come out of the Lords of War on this ambulance objective. K-Dog downs Hardo Tyler, an improvement, but not enough. They are still at a 3v2. And also, he has not rotated. So, the Lords know exactly where his positioning is. And Esco is actually, I believe, trying to reposition to a point where he can actually engage K-Dog. K-Dog goes for the reposition again, which is good for him because I think he did give his way his position at that corner there. But the Lords of War still have 3 of their members up. And they are taking it slow. This is one guy. The Gunrama. There's... Oh, so they've... Okay. So they've completely adopted to go... change up their plan mid-game and adjust their attack strategy to go for a more northerly push. The Esco Aqua tag team. And a good formation as well, really surrounding the objective and going to put the pressure on Hand to Death at the same time. But once again, we might see them bring it down to the last second here. They only have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock here. Both of the Hand of Death are actually in pretty... Oh no, K-Dog, you looked away at the wrong time, but okay. And a nice tag comes from K-Dog to tie it up. Shutting down the one approach. Leaving it up to Esco and Aqua. Peaks are coming out from the man on. I'm Patrick. This is the worst time to peek because you have that man. I'm sorry, a woman up in the burning building there. It's really hard to spot someone out on top of there, so your best bet is honestly just to defend that corner. Wait for them to come to you. You got your guy watching your other end. K-Dog's still defending that side. I don't know if they're... You better get ready to rotate really soon here. And Esco chucks a smoke over, trades with Aqua, and the rotation comes out of K-Dog. Esco is on objective, he's getting greedy, and the Hand of Death take the map. That objective greed, man, you should have waited for the rotation. And it's actually kind of surprising because I do know that the Hand of Death, not the Hand of Death, but Lords of War really do study their enemy teams beforehand. So I'm kind of surprised that they chose to do that when they should have anticipated that rotation. But hey, mistakes happen. They still have 2 more maps to pull themselves out of this loss, or out of this condition that they're in, and they chose all of those maps. Yes they did. No, they didn't. That's just my things glitching out. This has been a very glitchy day. Matter of fact, you just hang on for 1 second. I'm gonna go see if I can restart my Onward really quickly. And just as a